welcome to The Sinner and the Saint. I'm Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison Kane.
You know, we've been talking a lot about questions, and I wonder, all the things that we were sold as kids, all the things that our parents believed that were just lies to control our behavior.
Yeah, like don't eat raw cake batter.
They still have that on like the cookie dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have that.
Yeah,
And
I still eat raw cookie batter. Yeah, I do. If I make it, not the stuff out of the package, but I don't buy that. I mean, it's fine if you do, but I just always like to make mine. It's therapeutic for me.
Right.
And then like cake mixes and brownie mixes.
You used to lick the spoon. Like that was part of helping.
Yeah.
Every time I actually lick the spoon, I'm like, they've been doing this for years and years. I ain't even worried about it.
Yeah.
Or how about you have to wait 30 minutes after you eat to go swimming?
That was a big one for us.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Dad had a swimming pool business.
But really, is that true, or the parents just tired and didn't want to watch you for 30 minutes? So they got a 30-minute break.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the egg thing, because don't people drink eggs for like nutritional purposes, like raw eggs and stuff? So what's the difference? I'm really angry about that because I love my raw batter. I mean, if you can crack an egg into a glass and swig it down for health, can't you eat it in some brownie mix?
That is so funny because my 17-year-old does drink raw eggs sometimes. And the first time I discovered this, I flipped out. I'm like, you're gonna die.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And here's a funny one. My dad loved fresh cherries. Okay. But they were, especially back in the day, in New Bern, they were hard to get, and I'm sure, just like now, really expensive, especially in New Bern. And he would always like hide them down in the drawer so we wouldn't eat them all. And when we discovered them and that they were actually good, I don't like fake cherries or the sweet ones, but I love fresh cherries. He told us that it gives you zits. He was like, you won't want to eat these cherries. It makes your face break out. And I was like, oh, and I was a teenager. So of course, like middle school, that's terrifying. Like you want a lot of things, but zits, not one of them.
Oh
Isn't
my
that funny?
gosh. That might be my favorite.
Yes. I mean, you know, we kind of knew he was lying, but then you are still a little bit worried.
Yeah.
And there was no Google then.
Correct.
And that topic was not covered in the Encyclopedia Britannica or Childcraft books.
Yeah, and remember you had to go to the library and you would have to get out, you'd have to pull that drawer out.
Yeah, that card catalog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. I wonder what other lies we're believing. I don't know.
Oh, does it make you worry?
Yes. So last week we did touch on how I have been taking the word wonder and the action of wonder and replacing my worry.
Which I think is beautiful. And I've actually been doing it some myself.
Ooh.
And I've been noticing how much I actually do more wondering, which has really been nice.
Yeah. You feel a little less stressed.
Yes. But just to even say it out loud and recognize it and pinpoint it and then keep an eye out for it, it's amazing what that effect can have on your system. So we thought, of course, we would define the word wonder, because that's always a good place to start.
It is, yep.
Okay. Feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, and inexplicable.
Oh.
Wow, right?
Well, beautiful, kind of like, you know, last June, I guess it was this past June, maybe it was April, I don't remember. My dad made a flower bed in my backyard, which is so sweet to me because I love my dad. He lives far away. So I'm like, I'm going to cherish this. And I planted a cut flower garden.
Oh, it is gorgeous, y'all.
So
have you been on her Instagram?
Right. So I was just sitting there watching. Last week I went out to water and I'm watching all the little bees and I'm watching it's its own little pollinating garden out there, and it makes me feel not as bad for killing the mosquitoes around my house, because here, go live in the pollinator garden.
Just not the mosquitoes. You're not welcome.
Yeah. So I was just watching in awe and wonder, if you will, at all the little details of the bee as he hunches down into
yeah. Do you have dragonflies too?
I do. There were so many.
Oh, wow.
I should post
love
a video
dragonfly.
of that. Yeah.
Well, that really speaks to the beautiful portion of this definition. I thought we could kind of break that down and talk about it more, because it's basically saying that wonder is caused by something beautiful or unexpected or unfamiliar or inexplicable, unexplainable. And so beautiful, that wonder brings awareness to things. When you were wondering about all the things and pondering in that beauty, and that's so gorgeous, right?
And I love that because it brings you awareness to God, because God created all these things. And so for me, it's one of my pathways to being closer to God.
It's so true, just in his creation and that sort of thing. Well, what about unexpected? So wonder comes from unexpected things. Okay, this is where we, instead of worry can also come from unexpected things. So keep in mind, we're replacing worry with wonder. But in all of these aspects, worry could take the place of wonder in this definition.
I have a funny story.
Okay.
It's funny now.
Not so funny when it happened. It's one of those stories.
All right, so I'm not really trying to throw my husband under the bus. I did tell him I might share this story. I didn't know when I was going to share it, so hopefully he doesn't listen. Anyway, so it was my birthday and my husband forgot my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a message from you early in the morning, my family. Midday, my husband sent a message. Now, I wasn't even with him because I was at the hospital with his aunt who has dementia. And so I had had no sleep. I had been up since 5 a.m. Thank you, lab tech, for that. And
on your birthday, you're self-sacrificing for one of his beloved family members.
Who doesn't even know my name. Oh. But that was okay. That's where I knew I was supposed to be. So anyways, I was like, I wonder if he realizes it's my birthday. And I journaled 5 pages in my journal. I told him if he's ever brave, he should read them.
Wow.
But
that was really smart, by the way. Notice how she didn't pick up the phone and scream at him for 5 hours. She just journaled 5 pages with God.
Well, it was fascinating to watch everything unravel because I started journaling at 5:30 a.m. and then it just continued all the way till 3 or 4 and little jots. And my mind, I got to see kind of like a microscopic version of how my mind was working.
Right.
And so it was like, I think he forgot my birthday, God. And then I said, I wonder why this feels so bad. And then it was a reminder of how I had thought, all my life I haven't felt important. I haven't felt loved. I haven't felt worthy of something. And so his one little mistake was bringing back a truckload of baggage that I had been carrying. And so it was a trigger, if you want to say that word. And I was kind of going, is he really responsible for the truckload, or he just actually made one little mistake? And I wonder what else is going on in his life that would have created this. Well, he's the overall caregiver for his aunt, so she broke her hip, so that's stressful. He had just gotten back from we had been on vacation for a week, so he just threw back into work. He'd already been out of town twice that week leading up to my birthday. So it was like, I wonder what's happening that could create this unexpected moment.
And you know how the calendar gets wonky when you've been on vacay.
Right.
It's like, wait, what just happened? It's like with COVID, there was like missing 2 whole years, Yeah. So vacation can do the same thing in a shorter span and much happier.
Yeah.
But yes, wow. But still a big deal.
It was a big deal. And also,
but I love how you dissected that.
Oh, for like 5 pages.
Yes.
I'm telling you, journaling is where it's at.
I agree. And I noticed as you were talking, you kept saying, and I wondered why I was reacting this way, and I wondered how I felt, and I wondered what was going on in his life, and I wondered. And you really did replace your worry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried that he doesn't love me. I'm worried that I'm not important in his life.
So there was like 3 sentences of that. It was a pity party.
Yes. Well, we got to get it out sometimes.
And then it was like, all right, girl, come on.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it was good.
So wonder does come in unexpected places. And honestly, I wonder if you could, no pun intended, look back on that now that you're, a little bit past that and think that was a really cool gift that he gave me, whether intentional or not.
Yes. And I mean, also, God reminded me, what is a better way to spend your birthday than caring for a widow that cannot care for herself? Like, you are honoring me with the day that honors you, supposedly. You got what I'm saying.
Oh, I love your heart.
Good. It was good. And I was really tired. But,
it's really good today.
Yeah. But you know what else is I did tell my husband, I want you to know that I'm very disappointed and sad.
Good.
And I need space for these feelings. So, but I'm also not going to hold a grudge. And I'm not going to throw it in your face. And I'm not going to be nasty about it.
But I need a timeout.
Yeah. I just need to be sad. So.
I think, okay, that is huge. And it's so important. And I mean, there are two big things that stand out to me here. By replacing your worry with wonder, you did feel all the feels, right? And worked through them. But you started with God and you didn't pick up the phone and just instantly react out of anger.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm growing.
I'm learning from you. Right. And then also, you were able to articulate it in such a way where you had healthy boundaries. And he obviously respected that and gave you that time, even though I know he felt terrible.
Right.
And really guilty. And it was probably really hard for him not to, pull out all the things out of his magician hat to make it a spectacular thing and make up for
party.
it. Yes. So I think that just shows so much growth in you, but also in your marriage.
Yeah.
The marriage and in him, and that's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of amazing wonder there.
Yeah. What I did realize with the unexpected is when you wonder, you actually begin to engage your brain when your feelings want to take over. Because, I mean, if I stayed in my feelings, who knows where I'd be today. But when you even just start to say, I wonder what, now you're engaging your brain, and it kind of like quiets your feelings a little bit. Not to the point that says they're not important, but they're not the only thing.
It's like we tell our daughter, just because you feel it doesn't make it true.
Right.
Like, you might feel that way, and that doesn't mean we're not validating how you feel, but just because you feel it doesn't mean that it's actually true. Well, the next one is, replacing worry with wonder. Wonder can come from unfamiliar things.
Yes.
And so can worry.
Yes.
I mean, that's like the crazy thing about this. You can, even in this definition, you can replace worry and wonder with what it is. It's so interesting. You just never know what God's going to unravel. But we recently went to Italy for my 50th birthday. It was awesome. We had a motley crew of people. It was random, like my husband and I and some of my family and some of his family, older people. None of us had all traveled together before.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. And you're away from, like, so far away from home,
and
too.
the lack of sleep, the overseas travel. Two of the people had never even traveled overseas. They had no idea. There's customs, there's stress, there's sleep deprivation, there's airline, but actually that was all fine. And we were traveling with three older people.
Right.
Like, I mean, my mom's 82. And then...
But girl, she looks good.
She looked good. Uh-huh. She was great. She was a trooper. She was the oldest of the crew. And then my husband was the youngest of the crew.
I'm sure he reminded you often.
He actually didn't, which was really sweet. But we also had his mom and aunt who are older. But we planned it and we were so excited. And then as it got closer, we were like,
what is this going to look like?
Were we crazy? Oh my gosh. Is this going to work out? Are we nuts? But anyway, we got in there and it was amazing. We all just meshed together, and I was in awe of how seamless it went and how everybody worked together and got along and took turns hanging out with different people. And, it was just, we would all travel again. In that same group, we would all go take another trip together again.
Okay, that's amazing. That many people, and y'all did not have one hiccup.
7
Woo!
of us.
And there's a lot of stress in everyone's mind.
All different families, wow.
Good job, team.
Different ages, running the gamut. It was amazing, and there was so much wonder in that. But I could have worried and worried and worried and worried. But instead, I was just like, I wonder what God's going to do with this. I wonder how this will... what we'll experience together. I wonder if we'll do this again. I wonder what kind of memories we'll be able to, have and share. And it was just an incredible experience. And so the unfamiliar can bring a lot of wonder. But go ahead.
I love just the image of you guys going through Italy and you're just behind them.
Yes.
I wonder what this is going to look like. That would be my little...
that happened. So the first day, we just did not the first day we arrived. We chilled by the pool, but the second day we did 2 just kind of low-key, smaller Italian villages that were close by. And everybody was walking ahead of me, and I took a picture, and I was like, I wonder what this week is going to look like.
Yeah.
But I wasn't worried.
Right.
Which was great, but I had not actually reflected on that.
But were you communicating with God the whole time?
Oh gosh, I'm always communicating with God.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I was praying for you every day because I did know the dynamics were going to be a little, different.
Yeah,
so,
well, just unexpected, right?
I love it. Not bad, just unexpected. Yeah.
Yes, and never, not having ever done it before. But then the last one is inexplicable, which is basically unexplained.
Oh, gosh, like all the UFOs and stuff they're talking about.
That can definitely bring wonder. I wonder, or worry. I wonder if they'll blow us all up, or I wonder if they'll be our friends.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if they have a new hair product for, hair in the summer when it's not so frizzy.
Maybe.
Anyways.
That'd be great. Yeah, wow. That just took a whole nother turn. I wasn't expecting that. And my brain just kind of went on that path, like down a thing. What else might they have that we need? So wonder can come from unexplained situations as well. It can bring worry, but things of always. But I think most recently, this one for me, are you laughing at me or with me?
I'm kind of laughing with you because
about the UFO?
That, and I keep thinking of the word foobar, which I will not break down for you, but it explains, it's like an inexplicable situation is called a foobar, and I'll explain that to you off mic.
Oh, okay, great. She knows these things and fills me in.
Yes.
Never assume that I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I will.
I'm not on Facebook, so I'm or TikTok, so I don't know anything.
Okay, this is old school, and I think it's maybe little people rough around the edges will use this word more.
Oh, great. Okay,
right.
You can tell me later.
Later, it is. So you had an inexplicable, unexplained
moment. Yes, and you know how you were talking about with your husband and how you processed your feelings through journaling and handled it correctly with him. I recently went through something with a friend who did the opposite.
Oh.
And completely out of the blue, kind of let loose her personal, and I knew it was, her personal frustrations and anger and fears and all the things, but on me. And, even though it's just unexplained, and you're like, I wonder where this came from.
That came out of nowhere.
But then I didn't really wonder because I knew, but I was like, I wonder what this will mean for our friendship after this, because it'll be really hard to forget. Even though you understand where it's coming from, when you're the recipient of it, it's very difficult and it's very hurtful.
Right.
To go through that. But instead of worrying, I just wonder. And I've totally given that to God and just trusting Him with it.
Feels good, huh?
It really does. There is just an unexplained peace in it. Honestly. So I think that, this has been a really cool journey for me. Just when you brought this up, And for me to start recognizing and paying attention to how many times I said, well, I wonder about. And it made me realize how thankful I wasn't worrying about it. Mm-hmm. But then I would check in with myself too. Like, are you sure you're not worrying about it too? When you're wondering, it's like I've got one that's going to be a senior in high school this year. So of course we're doing all the college stuff, and it'd be really easy for me to say, I'm just so worried about where my kid's going to get into college. I'm so worried about his future. But instead, I'm just wondering what God has planned for him.
I love that you say that, because that's what I wrote down. Wonder gives the power to God and takes the pressure off of us.
Yes, it totally does.
Yeah.
There's so much fruit from the wonder instead of the worry.
Yeah, and it's because you can relax in that position because you know God's character. Mm-hmm. So you know who you are counting on.
Yes.
He's like the next batter up.
He is the rock. He is the foundation. That's so right. And wondering why I feel this way creates growth and clarity for me, as a person.
And back to your story about your friend, when you wonder, the act of wondering weaves grace and mercy into your heart, because you're saying, what is going on over there? And so yes. It's no longer a target, and you obviously were the target. I'm sorry for that. I think I did offer, never mind. I went all the way back to high school. I was like, girl, I got your back.
Yes, you were my defender, which is always nice.
But, you have mercy because you do see a situation that's there, and so when you take time to wonder instead of feel all of your feelings that you very well deserve to feel, it kind of makes her a little more human.
I think that's very well said. And I thought it was really interesting and really sweet that my husband and I were driving down the road, and he said, I was telling a friend, generally, not detailed, but generally about this situation and how, years ago, or someone who wasn't strong in their faith and trusted the Lord like you do, how that would have turned into a huge fight, a huge disaster where the friendship could have never been restored. Mm-hmm. Because if you both responded that way, but you remained, on a different level through that whole conversation. And, it's like, wow, I wonder how God did that.
Yeah.
But then you're so thankful that he does. And then you think, I don't have to wonder because I know. Mm-hmm. Because seeking him every day and finding those things. So this has been a lot.
Right?
Wonder versus worry. But I hope that you've seen that wonder is way better than worry.
Way better than worry.
The benefits of wondering are astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as see how much God loves you.
Oh, yes it is. Girl, you're so smart. Hey, thanks for joining us. We hope that you'll get with a group of women this week, or sit around the table, or next time you have lunch, and bring up a few of these questions and considerations and have this conversation with a dear friend, and also the Lord, because he always has some good insights too.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us this week on The Sinner and the Saint.